Someone say they love you and still call you names that slowly destroy your joy. How can someone say they love you? You are the one they've been looking for. And yet behind closed doors, use words that slowly destroy your confidence, your self-esteem, and your joy. Hello everyone, and welcome back to House of Mariann, a space for honest conversation. We talk about identity, faith, real life challenges, and the next generation. If this is your first time here, my name is Mariann. Welcome. Today, I would like to share a part of my story that took me years to overcome. For 6 years, I lived under words that deeply affected me mentally and emotionally. I was called useless. I was called good for nothing. I was called a prostitute, an imbecile, a witch, and I was constantly compared to how other women were better than me. And whenever I said those words were hurting me, the response was simply, I don't care. Not only did he not care, he said he could repeat it again. And what confused me the most was the massive contradiction. I was being accused of being a witch, sent to destroy his life. And he could still tell me to go and tell those people who sent me that I cannot destroy him. Yet, how could I be the witch sent to destroy for him? Taking care of him, supporting him, believing in him and standing by him and crying out loud to God on his behalf. How could the same person be afraid that I could poison him, but still sit down the next day and eat the food I cooked? This thing never made sense to me. Even worse, he could wake up the next day and carry on as if though nothing had happened. He could expect intimacy after all the insults. I remember asking myself one day, sitting down there, am I not a person? Am I not a human being? Do my feelings not matter? Because while he had moved on from the words he spoke, I was still carrying them. Little by little, those words started challenging me. I lost my confidence. I lost my self-esteem, my joy. I became withdrawn, quiet, and someone I did not recognize. Food became my comfort. I could wake up during the night and eat because I could not sleep. People did not know what I was going through, though. The only thing they noticed was that I was gaining weight. Then one day, I just stood up in front of the mirror. I looked at myself and said, no, this is not me. The Mariann I know or I knew was confident, sociable, and loved people. She likes to make jokes. But the woman looking at me in that mirror was carrying years of pain, rejection, and words that were never meant to define her. She looked tired, broken, lost, and my biggest wake-up call came one day while I was driving from church. I saw the traffic light. I knew it was red. I need to stop. I wanted to brake, but my mind was completely lost in years of hurt, confusion, questions that never had answers. And I kept on driving. And if it wasn't for the woman sitting beside me shouting, Sister Mariann, Sister Mariann, Sister Mariann, I could have driven straight into people crossing the road. That moment terrified me that I still remember anytime I passed through that area. Before this experience, I never understood how words can be powerful. How a person could slowly lose themselves because of what they were hearing every day, till I experienced it myself. Not until I nearly drove through a red traffic light because the trauma was blinding me. And because I had worked in mental health unit before, a sharp thought came into my mind. I said to myself, if I am not careful, I could become the very person I used to judge, because I used to judge a lot of people going through depression. That how would you allow? That was my awakening. I realized I had a son who needed me. I had responsibilities and I had a future. I had a dream. The person speaking those words was moving on with their life. But I was the one slowly disappearing, and I said, no, this cannot be my story. This cannot be how my life ends. Being depressed. If you want to break free from your own heavy labors today, just hit subscribe right now and let's work this out together. Because one thing I have learned is that people can call you many things, but that does not mean that is who you are. For years, I listened to what people said about me, but eventually, I had to learn what God said about me. Because when I studied the Bible, I could not find God calling me useless. I could not find God calling me good for nothing. I could not find God calling me a witch or an imbecile. I always say, not even my father or my mom who gave birth to me. I began to understand that God's opinion of me mattered more than the opinions of people. Was the journey easy? No. Did the pain disappear overnight? No. But God's grace was sufficient for me. He carried me through the darkest season of my life. And when I look back today, I can see that He had a complete different plan for me. The names they called me did not determine my future. The labels did not determine my future. The abuse did not determine my future. God did. And today, by His grace, I'm a mother. I'm pursuing my future, my studies. I serve under great men and women. I write, I encourage others. Not because life was easy, but because God's grace was sufficient. And if you are carrying labels that were never meant for you today, just remember this. People may speak over your life, but they do not have the authority to define your identity. God does. And thank you everyone for sitting with me today at House of Mariann. In our next conversation, I want to share something equally important. How I started healing after years of verbal and emotional abuse. Because recognizing the damage was only the beginning. And learning how to heal was the journey. Till next time, stay blessed. And remember to hit the button, subscribe, like, and share your sincere thoughts in the comment section. Stay blessed.